Okay, hi everyone, this is Mike Heydrich. I wanted to talk to you tonight about the T5 high output lights that I'm installing in my new shed. So I thought I'd make a video on how I'm hanging these up. The shed that I'm building has 16-foot high sidewalls to the bottom of the trusses. So I needed a way to install my lights. So first, let's talk about how I'm wiring these up. These are T5 high output lights from Coors Lighting, purchased off eBay. These lights are 6 lamp lights that are 2 foot by 4 foot. So I've got this one wired, but I'm going to go through the steps of how I'm doing it. And over here are the parts that I'm using. For the power cords, I'm using actually computer power cables. I seem to have a surplus of those. And these are 3-wire 16 gauge power cords. So what I've done is I've cut the end off, left the plug end, and then tinned the neutral and the black wire, that's the hot wire. I've tinned those, and I'll show you why here in a second. So inside of the Coors Lighting lights, to wire them up, you have the wiring. These come pre-wired for 120 volts. So what I've done is I've taken those power cords that had the tinned wires and pushed them into the connectors here. So this is the wire from the power cord, and I've taken a non-metallic clamp and ran it through one of the holes in the cover plate. And those just get put on with the little nut that's part of those. And I ran that power wire through there and pushed in the black wire, which is the hot wire, and then the neutral wire. And then I've taken the ground wire here and just used a wire nut and connected those two, or connected that ground wire up. So once that's together, push that wiring back inside, and this kind of fits in place here. And it gets pulled back. There's a set screw that locks that into place. Now to hang my lights, I'm using stainless steel zip ties that I got from Harbor Freight. Each one of those is rated to 100 pounds. And these are 5/8 inch connectors, or like dog leash ends that you can purchase from Lowe's and Menards or any of the home stores. And I've ran that zip tie through the light, and then up, and then through the ring on the little connector. The reason I'm doing that is in my ceiling, I've put 2x4s on top of the trusses, and I pre-wired those with outlets that are on a switch circuit. 20 amp circuits are what I'm running for the 120 volt in the shop. And then what I've done is I've drilled a hole through that 2x4, and it's about 46.5 inches between the two ends. You use a dog leash end on each side of the light. And you put these eye bolts through those 2x4s and use some fender washers and lock nuts, or lock washers, and I put double nuts. And these are 1/4 inch by 4 inch long, which are actually almost too long. But the reason for that is when I install a ceiling, they'll be long enough that I can actually run this same eye bolt up through the 2x4. So you can see up on top there, you can see this light over here that's not turned on right this second is plugged into an outlet, and that outlet is on a switch circuit, and then every other outlet is on a tool circuit, so those don't get lights. And then this one here is connected up to the next outlet. And the way this is my scaffolding, so I climb up on top of the scaffolding, and I take the box that the light comes in, and I close it up. You can see a closed up box here. I install the lights, there's a blue film that comes on them that you have to remove off of the reflective piece that's on there. Once you remove those, then you can install your lamps, and this will work for the 4 bulb or the 6 bulb. And then I've installed those lights. And I take that box, and I'm just using an old power cord or old extension cord I had. And then you can buy these Velcro straps from the same hardware store, and you wrap that box around the loop and climb up on your scaffolding, and then you can just pull it up to yourself. I've made a platform for the scaffolding up here. And then once those eye bolts are installed, then it's just a matter of clipping in those dog leash ends. I don't know if you can make out exactly right where that eye bolt it is there, so we can zoom in pretty good. There, you can see one of the eye bolts there, right next to the outlet. I've had other lights up here before. I replaced some metal halide lights, so there's some U-hooks up there as well. But yeah, then you can just clip those lights right into place and plug them in, and then hit your switch, and you'll have lights. I've got the center lights. It's kind of bright for this camera, so I got 4 circuits just for lighting in the shop. The shop's 40 by 64. So I have 2 circuits for the middle of the building, and then I'll have 2 circuits for each edge of the building as well. These are the metal halide lights that I had up there before, then I'm changing out to the T5HO output. So anyways, if you got some old power cords laying around, and I think the eye bolts are about 50 cents a piece, and the dog leash ends are about $2 a piece. You'll need 2 obviously for each light. And I think at Harbor Freight it's about $3 for a 12 pack of the stainless steel zip ties. Once you run that zip tie through there and tighten it up, you can just clip off the end. Make sure you leave yourself plenty. Give them a good test before you hang them up, but other than that, this is how I've wired up my lights and how I hang them up. Thought I'd give you how to. Have a great night. Bye.